State Superintendent Ryan Walters submitted a budget request to a House Appropriations Committee on Tuesday, but it was very different than the one the State Education Board approved 2 days later at their first meeting since Walters replaced Joy Hofmeister's. Walters told lawmakers he was obligated to present Hofmeister's budget request, but would return next week to present his own budget proposal. Education reporter Taelyr Jackson sat down with Walters this week to discuss what his priorities will be.
State Superintendent of Public Instruction Ryan Walters, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely, very happy to be here.
So how has your experience been so far as a new state superintendent?
Oh, it's been great to be here in the department and begin the work of empowering parents, getting the focus back on education and really making sure that our teachers are equipped to be successful in the classroom. It's been great. So we're moving fast. We're going to be bold in everything we're doing here, and so it's been absolutely great. It's been a great transition, and I'm very excited to get to work.
Now, we have heard some concerns with a few teachers that, weren't sure exactly what direction you might take the State Department of Education. Do you have any concerns with them? What do you want to say to those educators?
Our teachers are the most important personnel inside a school when it comes to student successes. You look at this and all the studies show that inside a school, there's nobody more impactful to the student's success than the teachers. We've got to have high quality teachers. We've got to support our high quality teachers. I've said now for years, we have got to have higher teacher pay. I want our high quality teachers to make a lot more money, but also get more support. So we're going to look at everything we can do in the agency to support our teachers, and we're going to continue to advocate at the legislature to get teachers the money that they deserve.
So what plan do you have to kind of raise the performance level of our Oklahoma students?
One of the things that we're going to be talking a lot about is reading. Our students rank 49th in the latest NAEP scores in reading. Our students, we have some bright students, we have some incredible students across the state, but we have done a disservice for them in the way we've taught reading. Every child can read, but it's a matter of teaching them. We all know there's the phonics. It's a matter of understanding how to read, and once you do that, once you master that, the world is unlimited as to what you can achieve, but we haven't been doing that.
During your campaign, you mentioned that you wanted to expand school choice for parents. What steps should be taken to kind of make that happen here?
Absolutely. Nobody knows better for their kids than their parents. And what we've limited currently, or if you have higher income, you can send your kids to a different school or move to a different district. Every single parent should have that ability, no matter their background, no matter where they live. We will advocate and we will advance the ultimate school choice plan, which means every education dollar follows the parent's decision for their child. If a mom says, I want my kid in this private school or this charter school, every single education dollar allocated for her child should follow her child to that school.
What's something that your office plans to do to kind of get those qualified teachers back in the classroom?
Several things here. Number one, we have got to get the indoctrination out of the classroom. We've got to stop this push from the radical left and the Biden administration to push on teachers to teach things that aren't in the academics for their classroom. A math teacher needs to be teaching math. A science teacher needs to be teaching science. The other thing we've got to do is we have got to get more money out of bureaucracy and into the classroom. We have way too much money going to administrative cost. That money should go to the classroom, the teacher pay, but also the resources around the teachers. This is professional development, this is training, this is mentorship. Lastly, we have got to have our best and brightest make a lot more money. That's why I am advocating for a merit-based pay system where our high performers make more money.
Senator Pugh has came up with a $541 million education plan, which will include teacher pay raise incentives as well as increased funding for school security. What's your thought on his plan?
I work really well with Senator Pugh. I applaud Senator Pugh for showing, again, education is going to be the most important issue we tackle, that it affects every aspect of Oklahoma and Oklahoma's as society. And so I applaud him for getting right out front and going, hey, here's some ideas. We've got to tackle this. We've got to come together to work on this.
Superintendent, there are currently two boards dealing with charter schools. Should both charter school boards and the virtual charter school boards be under one roof?
Yes. The reality is the State Department of Education is the organization that we have my statewide elected office. We've got the ability here to help oversee the accountability system to ensure that taxpayer dollars are spent appropriately, to make sure that whether it's a traditional public school or a charter school are using their funds appropriately. And we have an agenda item this Thursday. I have a charter school that's had problems. But you have to have that keen oversight in one area so that you can truly hold them accountable. What happens is when you begin to diffuse this power across multiple agencies, you're left with finger pointing back and forth. The buck needs to stop somewhere. And it needs to stop at the state superintendent and the Department of Education to say, listen, we have entrusted the state superintendent to hold education dollars accountable, and this office has to do that.
An education audit was ordered by Governor Stitt, and it's still underway. So once those findings have been revealed and released, how do you plan to use that to move our public education forward?
We just started our own internal audit as well. So we're auditing every division for both the money that's spent, where the money came from, how it's being spent, what are the guidelines around the money, and we're also just looking at resources in general. What programs are successful for our young people? What programs are moving the needle? And then frankly, what programs aren't? Because the reality is when you spend money here, that could be money that could be spent over here in a truly impactful program. And so every single dollar will be audited in this department. We will look at every single program, and we will make sure that parents know they can see how money is spent. They can know there's no kind of left-wing ideology that's pushed from the Biden administration in it. And then lastly, that it impacts our kids, that it actually returns on the investment, that it actually is meaningful for our young people and meaningful in our education system. So every single dollar, every single program here will be audited by our department.
Superintendent Ryan Walters, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Taylor, great job. Thank you. And we should note, Ryan Walters is also now a member of the OETA board.